You might say you're ready to defend the pool, but are you really ready to defend the pool? Are you really ready to chase down Teoscar Hernandez and tackle him from behind? Well, we might need you out there because the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers take on each other here at Chase Field with a chance for the Dodgers to clinch the NL West. We're talking about it in 30 seconds, and I'm going to scream a lot. Don't you go anywhere. Welcome in to another edition of the PHNX Diamondbacks podcast, live from Studio K, presented by our friends at Circle K. My name is Derek Montilla, occasionally known as your mayor of PHNX, and I'm thrilled to have you guys here discussing the final week of regular season baseball for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and I guess the rest of Major League Baseball as well. This show, of course, is brought to you by our friends at Bet365. Go use that code of PHNX365 when you sign up and get yourself some bonus bets for following a few easy steps. Over at Game Time, use our code PHNX. You'll get $20 off their already low last-minute ticket deals. I am not alone because I am defending the pool this week. The Diamondbacks are defending the pool this week, and we can't do it alone. We need the one, the only, Damon Dog. He is on the ones and twos today, and he's already riled up. He's already ready to post bail. He's ready to do whatever it takes is basically what he
means everything, Derek.
It means everything. It actually absolutely means everything.
This is my personal championship this week.
This is what it's all about. It comes down to this. Of course, thank you guys who are part of our supporters club already. If you have not joined, you can do so on our main page over on youtube.com. I think you do have to actually go to the website. Unfortunately, this technology is not available in app form just yet. But once you do, you can get all of those wonderful emojis and drop them in the chat. We always love to see that. And, of course, we always love to see you guys here, especially after the Diamondbacks win yet another series, this time beating the Phillies 2 out of 3 yesterday. Yes, obviously, we did our quick emergency podcast on Sunday with how excited we were about it. Also, during that emergency podcast, I got to miss the Cardinals ruining my Sunday. So thanks to the Diamondbacks for not only beating the Phillies by a score of 9-2, but for distracting me while the end of that game took place and I didn't have to see what happened in real time. And I'm still very angry about that. But luckily, the Diamondbacks brought me some joy, and they did that by improving their record to 79-77. Great to see you here, Baxter. Great to see you here, Groundhog Mama. She said, love the emergency podcast yesterday. You guys are diehards. Once again, roped me into that. So that's all you guys. It's another reason why you should be a diehard over here at PHNX, because when you are, you can just tell me when you want me to work, and I will jump to it and do a show for you guys. But Damon, I think one thing that the Diamondbacks have earned is once again to see little Geraldo Perdomo head his way up Mount 500, if you wouldn't mind. That never gets old. The Dbacks are better than 500 since August 1st, by the way. And August 1st, I don't know if you remember, is essentially the day after the trade deadline. So after this team lost Merrill Kelly, after this team had already lost Josh Naylor, Eugenio Suarez, Shelby Miller, Jordan Montgomery, and of course, Randall Grichuk, our favorite Grichuk. Well, not true. Their second favorite Grichuk. His son is our favorite Grichuk. But the Diamondbacks are 28-19 since that day, since August 1st. The D-backs have gone 15-8, and that has involved wins against the Brewers in Milwaukee, the Dodgers in LA, at home versus the Rangers, at home versus the Red Sox, in San Francisco versus the Giants, in Minnesota against the Twins, versus the Giants here at home, and now versus the Phillies. The D-backs have won 7 straight home series dating back to August 8th, which is now tied for the second longest streak in franchise history. which is kind of wild. I don't know if that's more of an indication of how good the Diamondbacks have been over this stretch at home or how bad historically they've been at home, because I feel like that's something that should be much longer than 7 games. I believe the record is an 8-game home streak. And can they finish strong? Can they finish their season strong and make it 8 and help defend against the Dodgers jumping in our pool? Well, let's hope so. But they did, of course, have a really good effort in this series against the Philadelphia Phillies. Let's take a look at the count presented by our friends at Desert Financial Credit Union. The Diamondbacks outscored. What's up, RA? Great to see those neon cactus lights in the chat because they deserve it for this win. The Diamondbacks won this series 2 games. They take 2 out of 3 from the Phillies. They score the Phillies in this series 15-13. The Diamondbacks had 4 home runs to the Phillies 3. The Diamondbacks were 8 for 32 with runners in scoring position after going 0 for 6 in that first game. They went 4 for 13 in their final 2 games, which is, once again, baseball being crazy. Meanwhile, the Phillies went 4 for 30 for a 133 batting average. The Diamondbacks batting average with runners in scoring position, 250. The most surprising stat here, probably the starting pitching ERA here. The Phillies got rocked in a couple of these games. Their starters did not last very long. Not a single Philly had a quality start in this series, and they had an 8.10 starting pitching ERA. Meanwhile, the Diamondbacks posted a 2.50 starting pitching ERA and had some tremendous starts all across the board here in all 3 games. But relief pitching ERA, still something left to be desired. This is part of the reason why Jake Woodford was designated for assignment. Diamondbacks have a 7 starting pitching ERA relief pitching ERA to the Phillies 2.31 relief pitching ERA. So not a great series for the bullpen, but a great series for the Diamondbacks overall, and a great series for the starting pitching, as you see there. That 2.50 ERA, an indicator that these guys were really good. Eduardo Rodriguez's 6 scoreless innings was his 5th game this season with 6 or more shutout frames. And a lot of those have been recently. I told you guys on yesterday's show, but over his last 5 starts, Erod has posted a 1.84 ERA, and it's against some of the most formidable opponents the Diamondbacks have faced all season long, including the Giants twice. And I feel like that's a difficult task there, considering I believe his worst outing, the bad outing he had was the first one. So making those adjustments and having a good outing in the second appearance against them in the span of basically a week, excuse me, LG3, is something that he should be applauded for. But since August 27th, the Diamondbacks are now first in Major League Baseball with 15 quality starts. They might be tied, but they are first. They are first or share a part of that lead for first with 15 quality starts. Considering the calamity that was their starting pitching this season and considering what they have lost this year, kudos. Kudos to Brian Kaplan. Kudos to this team. Kudos to the individual players, right? I mean, I think that they've all had their individual motivations for getting back on track. I think Zach Gallen might have, again, a lot of it I think might have been working with sexy man Jimmy McCann. I think a lot of it also might have been Zach Gallen, quite frankly, having, a quick realization of his worth when finding out at the trade deadline, that no team was really making an offer significant enough for the team to move him, right? At least it has to be a more significant offer than the idea of either keeping Zach Gallen for one more season based on a qualifying offer or receiving that compensatory draft pick based on Gallen turning down the qualifying offer, right? So that had to weigh on Zach a bit for the fact that he was unable to, and he discussed it. He sounded bummed out about it. He said he was sad that he did not provide enough work to this team throughout the first half for them to be able to provide, trade for him and move him. And instead, Zach Gallen just locked in and has been incredible for this team since that stretch, as has most of the starting pitching. So, and Nabil Krismat, again, another guy, he was used yesterday in the 9th inning that deserves a ton of credit for being called upon to be that 5th starter when the Diamondbacks had no idea what they were going to do there, and he somehow stepped up and was as good as he was for this team. But speaking of being good, Corbin Carroll, incredibly good. Obviously, we talked about it on the emergency podcast, but he became the first player in franchise history to have 30 home runs and 30 stolen bases. He is the 10th player in Major League Baseball history to reach 30 plus doubles, 15 or more triples, and 30 or more homers in a season. And currently, his 79 extra base hits is 4th most in Major League Baseball, behind Ohtani, Judge, and just 1 behind Cal Raleigh, who has 80 extra base hits. Can we give it up for Corbin as the all-around best player we might have ever had on this baseball team? I mean, just as far as all of the metrics, everything that a baseball player can be asked to do, it feels like Corbin Carroll has done it well. And even in areas that were weaknesses for him, like his arm strength from the outfield and his power, have improved substantially this year, substantially. So he is a guy that deserves all the credit. And I think I saw our guy Archie Bradley on a short Instagram video just say that he has become a pillar, quickly become a pillar of the Diamondbacks organization and franchise, just of this team's history, right? So just incredibly good to see him contributing in the way he did this series. Also, Ketel Marte is back. And we discussed this on Friday. I think we have a little peek at the video. Ketel Marte had some adjustments that he made that he did not want us to share with his hands that may have brought him this success that we're seeing. Here's what Ketel Marte had to say after Friday's game.
I'm feeling great. I was trying to make adjusting at the home plate, and then I was just working a little bit on my hand, and then I figured out what's going on in the pass.
Yeah. Is the foot feeling much better at this point?
Yeah, I feel good. Yesterday I was watching a lot all my video, I think.
Yeah.
From last year, and then I think I figured out what's going on.
What'd you pick up?
It's something about my hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Private.
Yeah.
Don't need to know. Yeah.
I don't want anybody to know. I don't want any pitcher to know what's going on.
We're going to look so good with those eyebrow slits, Derek.
I don't think I've ever really paid attention to how many he has.
3.
I thought it was just 1.
No, it's 3.
It's 3, right? 2 in one, 1 in the other.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. I'm going to have some explaining to do.
You're totally going to look super cool walking around as a middle-aged man with a family and eyebrow slits.
I'm going to have some explaining to do in the drop-off line at high school for my
You might have to go just like full, like lean into your Hispanic heritage, Derek.
I can do that. Blaze offered me to hop in the barber's chair for the Dbacks team barber and ask for the Ketel Marte. So
I'm thinking that
maybe
you go
going haircut and eyebrow slits will help the whole overall look, or people will just be like, "Wow."
I'm thinking for sure you
the
go
midlife crisis is hitting him hard.
Fade, eyebrow slits, and then Erod style shave the stash off of the beard and just go beard.
No, that's a bad look for me. In fact, that's why I only go mustache. That's why I typically only go mustache instead of mustacheless beard. The beard is irrelevant here when it comes to my overall look. It's really the mustache that's the important part. So also, we have to maybe do some playoff stashes. Maybe. That might have to be in our near future. But Ketel Marte incredibly back in this series. 462 batting average, 4 RBI, 1 home run, 1 double. He was 3 for 4 on Friday there with a home run and RBI. 2 for 4 on Sunday with a double and 2 RBI. So it's just great to see Ketel Marte be back, and they need him. They need him now more than they need him ever because the Diamondbacks, once again, are somehow inexplicably in the wild card hunt here on September 22nd, 2025. If we could, Damon, let's take a look at the wild card standings here and see exactly where the Diamondbacks are currently at. Here we go. Diamondbacks 1 game back from these 2 teams that once again 2 teams ruining our chances of getting in the playoffs, and that aren't very much ahead of us, Damon. 2 teams that if we tie with both of them, we do not make it in the playoffs, and we are very familiar with that feeling from 1 season ago. And man, it would really, like a lot of things with this Diamondbacks year, it would really hurt to get this close and then fall like short of the playoffs just because you tie with the Reds.
Oh my God,
who
man.
do currently hold the tiebreaker over the Diamondbacks. So here we have.
Was this
Cubs.
the destiny the entire time? Just to make it hurt the most?
Yeah, because exactly. That would be the biggest, I guess, metaphor for this season is to come oh so close yet again. Meanwhile, these bums from Chicago, the Cubs, who we need just to sober up a little bit and go out there and play some baseball. They have the number one spot in the wild card hunt. They are 88-66. They have clinched that spot, so no matter how many games these bums lose, they will still be in the playoffs. They currently have an 8-game lead on the final spot. Padres sit at 83-71. The Diamondbacks do battle with them with the final series of the year, and hopefully, just hopefully, they literally have nothing to play for at all by the time we get to that point. But what sits ahead of the Diamondbacks here at 80-76 are the Reds and the Mets, and the Diamondbacks sit one game out there at 79-77. They have a tough task because the Dodgers are playing for a lot, and the Padres could still be playing for a lot at the end of the season. But like I said, this season, the Diamondbacks have handled their business against those teams, going 15-8 lately against some of the best teams in baseball. They would just need to focus on these 6 games because both of these series for the Dbacks are playoff series, and that's not being dramatic. I mean, the odds are already stacked against them. The Reds have the Pirates and the Brewers left on their schedule. The Mets face the Cubs, who we just need to sober up and play some baseball, and the Marlins. I get it. You're excited. You haven't been in the postseason since 2020. Can you play some baseball? Can you finish strong? You want to keep that number one spot, don't you? We also don't want the Padres to play for anything, right? So it's like the Dodgers. Oh, God. I just need the Cubs.
It's tough. Yeah.
I need the Cubs to win like 2 games and make the Padres have nothing to play for in that final series. And part of it is if the Diamondbacks do have success against the Dodgers and the Padres find a way to win, then they also still have something else to play for in the final series of the year. So don't love how all of this works out. And again, there's not much the Diamondbacks can control outside of playing their best baseball. And it is going to be against the Dodgers' toughest pitchers pretty much in their lineup. We're going to talk about that on the other side of this break. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondback Show. Well, of course, I have all of this stuff here with me, and all of this kind of wonderful stuff is the kind of things you can find at Rally House, which is your go-to spot to shop for all of your favorite local Arizona sports team gear. With thousands of products to shop from, you just will find everything you need. It doesn't matter what you're looking for. If you're looking to up your game on game day on the way out, you don't have enough team gear, you got to stop on your way. It is the place to find the matching outfit, coordinated socks, a hat that is amazing that you've never seen before, coolers for your tailgate, baby diapers. It doesn't matter. Whatever you need, they have it. And they have it right here in town at one of their 3 locations in Tempe, Mesa, and Glendale. You can also check out their website at rallyhouse.com. They carry only Arizona sports team too, so do not miss out on the chance to up your game on the way to any sporting event. Find your local Rally House location and shop their entire product assortment online at rallyhouse.com today. And whatever the moment, it is never ordinary at Bet365. It has not been an ordinary baseball season, nor has the football season been very ordinary at all. And it is never ordinary once again over at Bet365. They offer the widest range of games and markets available for live in-game betting across 78 sports. And right now they have tons of offers for the NFL season, including their Thursday night football offer where you have a $10 safety net bet offer. They have a $365,000 jackpot for Sunday night football where you place a $10 bet on the first touchdown scorer and you get a split of that $365,000 jackpot in bonus bets if your player scores the final touchdown of the game, payable regardless of if the first touchdown scorer bet wins or loses. And this is for the Sunday night jackpot. All of this and an early payout offer where you are a winner if your team goes up by 17 points with an instant payout offer on straight bets and parlay selections, which will be marked as winners. Download the app and use code PHNX365 when you sign up. Of course, new customers get $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. All you got to do is sign up, use that code of PHNX365, deposit $10 and place a bet for $5 or more to get $200 in bonus bets. If your bet wins or loses, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, players, props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it is never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 or over and physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP, text NEXT STEP to 53342 or visit problemgambling.az.com. Well, Damon, let me change hats again, because when we talk about protecting the pool around here, we mean it. We get our sun hat on, even though the roof will be closed. We got our baseball bat that is kind of a prop baseball bat, so I won't hurt myself. And we get ready to ensure that regardless of the outcome of this series, that we do not let the Los Angeles Dodgers in our pool and celebrate the NL West division. We can't let this happen. This was a huge controversy when it happened before. The last time when it did happen, I believe there were mounted police officers out there in right field. And if that's what it takes, then I'm for it. I'm for whatever enforcement is necessary, Damon, including sending Damon out there. Now,
I was going to say horses, police officers and horses are one Damon dog.
Yeah.
I mean, you pick your fighter.
You pick your fight. What do you want? Do you want to deal with one Damon dog? We're going to have some issues with production. This show is probably going to have to go on much later than 1 hour after the final out. But regardless of the outcome, if Damon is out there anywhere near that pool, then I can guarantee you that no Dodgers will enter it. But this means we have to rally the troops and form a human wall. That means you have to get down to Chase Field and make sure you cheer on the Diamondbacks because you know the Dodger contingent is going to be there and be loud. So we have to be equally loud in the final series of the year. That also includes Zach Gallen's final home game as an Arizona Diamondback, at least regular season, depending on how all of this shakes up. We could see him in some postseason games here, but again, this could be the last time we see Zach Gallen at Chase in a Diamondbacks uniform. So got to make it out there for that. Let's take a look at this Dodgers team at a glance. They've had a weird season, but they still managed to be very, very good. They are 6-4 in their last 10 games. Overall, they're 88-68 with a plus 126 run differential. Their OPS is 769. They have been tremendously good all year long offensively. That is good for second in Major League Baseball. Their starting pitching ERA is also very good. It is 3.81, which is sixth in Major League Baseball. They have like 8-9 starting pitchers. It's insane. Their relief pitching ERA, not nearly as good, 4.28. There's their weakness right there. Their bullpen is 20th in all of baseball, and that can be at least one weakness the Diamondbacks might be able to exploit in these games because they do face some very tough starters. Outs above average, they have 8, which is 13th. So their defense is pretty good. But again, the big test here is going to be how the starting pitching matches up against the Dodgers. Let's take a look at the probable pitchers for this series because it's a lot. The Diamondbacks take on Shohei Ohtani in his prison orange uniform. Damon,
I don't know what happened.
Really?
I don't know what happened.
Is that a prison orange uniform? Damon, I expect better out of you.
What did I do? I went on the internet. I looked up Shohei Ohtani headshot, and it gave me this. I don't know what to do.
You looked up Shohei Ohtani mugshot is what you looked up. Am I right? Is that what you looked up? Did you do that? Is that what you did instead? Anyway.
Shohei Ohtani looks like, Scooby-Doo just pulled the mask off of his face, and he said I would have gotten away with it, too, if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
All right. Well, Brandon Pfaadt takes on Shohei Ohtani in Game 1. Ohtani has not had very many starts this year. He is 1-1 with a 3.29 ERA. Meanwhile, Brandon Pfaadt, 13 wins this year. He's 13-8 with a 5.02 ERA, and he was excellent his last time out. So I'm very encouraged about his last outing, and hopefully Brandon Pfaadt can somehow find a way to come close to replicating it here in Game 1 against the Dodgers. Games 2 and 3 feature Diamondbacks best starters. I mean, I don't even know how you could really qualify that because, all of these guys have been pitching well at times. Ryan Nelson has been good pitching well all year. He is 7-3 this year with a 3.34 ERA. He matches up with Blake Snell, who is incredibly good. He is 5-4 this year with a 2.44 ERA. And then in Game 3, Zach Gallen goes up against Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Is Gallen 13-14 this year with a 4.70 ERA. Meanwhile, Yamamoto 11-8, 2.58 ERA.
14 losses is diabolical, man.
14 losses is
every time I see the amount of losses Zach Gallen has,
it's crazy. He's like the anti-Ryan Nelson, right? Like Zach Gallen is involved in all of his decisions.
Yeah.
Ryan Nelson, I think, has 7 straight no decisions, which is criminal. Might be as criminal as that Ohtani mugshot that Damon just posted. But overall, these guys are the Dodgers, right? And they are who they are. But we have a bunch of guys that just don't really care about that right now. Hearing some of the words from guys like Philip Abner and some of the young guys who really just are playing baseball in a way of treating those guys like those are just dudes over there wearing different laundry. It's pretty cool. I know there's some I guess some newness to it, like sometimes when you don't know any better, you can have that attitude. And I feel like there is no fear right now from this team. So it's a great time for them to be playing this level of baseball against their most, like I said earlier, their most formidable opponents. And they have a big series here. I cannot wait to see what happens. And I won't lie, I'm nervous. I think that, again, if the Diamondbacks don't have a good showing on Tuesday in game one, we're going to feel the pressure really fast, especially considering the Reds will be taking on the Pirates, and I'm not encouraged by that. So I'm going to give a call to Paul Skeens and I don't know who else. Maybe we'll get Brent Strom on the phone, see if we can get those guys motivated to at least play their best baseball of the year against the Reds. But anyway, this is going to be fun. Can't wait to be out there. Like I said, Diamondbacks need you guys out there. They need you strong and in numbers. So make sure to show up at the yard for this series. This is the final one of the year. Also, don't miss out on the sales going on at the yard. I already have purchased too many items this year. I'm at my max. I'm at my cap. So I need you guys to go grab all of that great, like 70% off merch that they have going on right now. But anyway, we're gonna move on from this because the more I dwell on this Dodgers series, the angrier I get. Damon, I mean this. There was nothing I was going to do to stop it. But in 2017, and I know I've told this story before, I was in the Dodgers clubhouse. I believe that was the year. They all run together now. I was in the Dodgers clubhouse when
Derek's about to say he had so much fun in there, guys. Hold up.
Honestly, no, I didn't. This is the day that I found out that getting sprayed in the face with champagne actually hurts a lot, and that the people that wear ski goggles aren't doing it just for looks. It's the smartest apparel you can wear when getting sprayed with champagne. I guarantee you that. But I was present. It was when they jumped in the pool, and I was present for the decision to be made. And I watched in horror as it unfolded because it started just with one guy. I don't think it was Adrian Gonzalez. I think it was Matt Kemp was like the one that started it. And he went to like Adrian Gonzalez, and then it spread to other guys right in front of me. And I was like, I literally was on Damon. I was like, no. There is no pool in right field. Forget it. And like, but I will say this, as much as people think that things like that were done with malicious intent, and this isn't going to help Damon's opinion on me as far as my connection with the Dodgers, but I will say that when they started doing it, what I saw were like little kids that were just excited to go celebrate their thing, and not necessarily the act of disrespect that I think that people claim it to be. However, now that that is out there, and now that that was such a controversial act of right disrespect towards the Diamondbacks, celebrating their NL West, clinching the NL West in our pool.
Yeah.
That now it's unforgivable, right? Like, so now it can't happen without at least two police horses fighting the Dodgers is what I need. I need at least Damon Dog out there, and maybe Jesse Jr. riding shotgun along with a police horse or two, just making sure that nobody. Well, I just don't want shoes in the pool. Right.
Derek, did you see that viral video of that mom form tackling that guy the other day that was going crazy?
Yes.
That's going to be me versus whatever Dodger first decides to try to cannonball into the pool.
Yeah.
You're going to see a guy just sprint across the screen and just form tackle, lay this Dodgers player out. I mean, it's unacceptable. It's really what it is, and you're right. Like, I don't think the Dodgers players are all that bad of people, except for Shohei Ohtani, who obviously is a criminal, as we all know. But the rest of them seem like
probable pitchers graphic.
The rest of them seem like decent guys. I do think that like they wouldn't sit there and be like, we're going to disrespect the Dbacks by jumping in their pool. But it is inherently disrespectful to the fans of this franchise, and whether they like it or not. So we're going to be upset about it if they do. Absolutely. And hopefully we just get the sweep, and we don't have to.
There it goes. And Padres handle their business. Right. So then they have, I don't know. Again, then they have something to play for. I'm conflicted no matter which way. So anyway, we're going to take a quick break. And on the other side of this break, we're going to do what we do here on Monday, every single Monday. And it is the last one of these for the regular season. It doesn't mean Mailbag Monday is going away. It just means it's the last regular season Mailbag Monday. We're doing that on the other side of this break. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondback show. Well, I might need to chill out. I might be overreacting to the whole Dodgers jumping in the pool thing. And of course, a great way to chill out is with our friends at Pure Edibles, because they offer an amazing collaboration that, as Damon said, was literally created just for me. I mean, I know everybody else can enjoy it. I know it was meant for the greater society, but I feel like the people at Pure Edibles and the fine folks in Mother Road Brewery got together and was like, guys, we got to do something special for Derek. And what did they do? They created the Noble Road Tower Station IPA all-in-one, based on the greatest IPA in all the land, Tower Station IPA. This new offering captures the crisp citrus and piney hops of Arizona's favorite IPA, but with a smooth THC twist, all in one device. Plus, it has a cool little car from the can on the outside of the package. No pouring, no waiting, just good tasting high whenever you want it. Go find yourself some Pure Edibles products from one of over 130 dispensaries across Arizona, and go find yourself one of those amazing Tower Station all-in-one from Noble Road at one of those wonderful dispensaries as well.
Right there on screen, Derek.
Right
look
there.
at it.
Look
You
at
can
that.
see the car.
Look at that beautiful little car. Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh. Also, I love being in my home. I really do. I enjoy doing this show from home. I do love our new office, but still nothing beats being at home. And the reason why I have that home is our friends at Desert Financial Credit Union. They got me started on my home ownership journey when I knew nothing about interest rates or finances or money or buying a home. And they got me situated. And thanks to them, I am still in my wonderful home. And I'm very thankful for it, especially considering high rental prices and the way that interest rates have been skyrocketing throughout the years. I'm very grateful that Desert Financial helped me get started on that journey, and they can help you get started on your financial journey regardless of what it is, whether it is for home ownership, whether it's retirement, whether you're just looking for checking and savings accounts, loans, credit cards, investment options, or more. They have you covered. Join a credit union that is committed to giving back to the community and sharing success with their members. When you open a free checking account online, you can get $200 in bonuses. Get started by visiting desertfinancial.com/200 today. All right. What's happening, guys? Well, it looks like everybody's pouring in now. Everybody's late to class. You guys missed me screaming about the Dodgers, and you missed me screaming about the pool, but
We did a pop quiz also in the beginning of class, so that goes in as a 0 for all of you guys who are
Michael
late.
Dixon and Candace all have some makeup work to do, but of course we are here now on this great time that we do, the thing we do here every Monday. And you know what we do every Monday, because every year on this show is obviously the year of the snake. Every year on this show is our year. Every month on this show is Hispanic Heritage Month. Every week on this show, obviously Shark Week. Every day is Earth Day because Damon and I recycle. But Mondays are special because on Monday, we go to the mailbag. Damon, let's go to the mailbag.
Mailbox. Always something interesting in my mailbox. I try to get to everything in my mailbox. And then once in a while, there's a letter that makes me go, wow, wow, my mailbox.
All right, Damon. What else? What do we got in the mailbag today?
Yeah, we got our first question from, you know who it is, Travis Moore.
Our leadoff hitter.
The leadoff hitter of all leadoff hitters. Number one, what specifically is Erod doing differently now that sparked this turnaround in his production? Number two, I finally just moved to Minnesota a few days ago and have a massive interview this morning. Am I going to get the job? No need to actually answer the second question.
Oh, we're going to answer the second question for sure. All right, let's start with question one. What specifically is Erod doing differently now that sparked this turnaround? I feel like Erod's fastball is much better. I feel like his command of that fastball is to the point where, much like Ryan Nelson, he can rely on it. He can basically use that to set the tone. And then his breaking stuff, especially when his changeup is working, seems to be working well. I know we're going to address this because we have like 3 questions, I believe, that are similar and about what exactly caused this turnaround, what caused the Diamondbacks, to have this success, what caused the pitching staff to turn things around. With Erod specifically, I feel like, and this might be a broader answer as well, and this might be attributed to Brian Kaplan, I just feel like he's not pitching for strikeouts as often. And I feel like that is the case across the board with every member of this pitching staff right now. But Erod specifically has been having some success with going out there and not really putting himself in a whole lot of trouble. Also being able to get double plays behind him to get outs. I mean, he's just been having a tremendous amount of success when it comes to, again, having outings where he's given up more hits than you'd like to see, but putting up zeros on the board or one on the board. Like he had the 5-run outing against the Giants, where I believe a lot of that was a lack of his fastball command and being able to get ahead in the count early on. So yeah, I mean, it's mostly about establishing, his fastball and then throwing a breaking ball that is getting, a lot of ground balls, a lot of outs. So again, it just feels like that again might be something that's across the board. But Erod specifically, his strikeout numbers haven't been blowing you away, but everything else has, about how many quality starts he's had, the performance, and mostly putting up 0-1 runs, allowing this team to have a chance to win. The second answer to the question is that I want you to remember, and this might just be a little catchphrase we say at the end of the show, but I mean this. You're a commodity, and I want you all to remember that when you go out there, when you have yourself a job interview, when people are evaluating you, remember you should be evaluating them as well for the opportunity. I think that one mistake I've made in life at times is, taking an opportunity regardless of what I thought that it was going to, actually be for a future for me, right? And so after I had a number of years working in the corporate world and getting promotions and working my way up, I just found that regardless of how high I was going to, work up in a company, a big bank like I was working in, that I, really just wanted to find something that suited my particular talents. And those particular talents are being a gas bag and being able to sit here on a microphone and talk for an hour straight. Also, I was sick of making collection calls when I was doing that at one point in my career and having people tell me that I had a voice for radio. I was like, great, can we talk about setting you up for a payment plan, right? So again, make sure the opportunity suits you and make sure it's the right opportunity for you as well. But I wish you the best of luck. And I think Damon and I both know our leadoff hitter is consistent. So what more do you want in an employee than consistency, right? Travis Moore, you're hired as far as I'm concerned.
And if I know anything about Travis Moore, I know that if you have like a meeting, a presentation, anything, and you need a guy to just start it off with a bang, that's your man.
Yeah. Katie May brings up a great point, taking a step backwards to that first question. For Erod, is it because Gabby is back? I can't remember if he has improved when he came back. He has improved. I think also, again, there's a James McCann unspoken impact that's hard to say, even if he's not catching. I do know that James McCann has been working together with Gabby on things, and there's just not there's no price you can put on the experience that someone like McCann has had in his career and what that experience can do for specifically a young, talented team like the Diamondbacks. I know it is something I've probably talked about entirely too much, but McCann, just looking at Zach Gallen and reminding him of who he was, seemed to be something that was very important in Zach Gallen's resurgence here. Not to mention the fact that McCann has been catching him. So I do think that there is a catching impact on all of these guys as well. And I know I've heard different things about calling games versus letting pitchers call games, but I really feel like the entire pitching staff has shared some sort of opinion about liking the catchers calling these baseball games. And I know that was something that I heard Gabby wasn't doing early on. He was letting the pitchers call the game. So perhaps that change is something that has impacted, the pitching staff overall for the positive. So, but hey, Scott Mack is right. You need savvy vets. Even if they're not doing well, you just have to have savvy vets available that share that experience with the young guys and also tell them when to calm the hell down when they're panicking. So I feel like overall this has been McCann, sexy man McCann, has had a huge impact on this team. All right, what else we got, Damon?
Next question we got here comes from Mike Rokicki, who asks, what do you think changed from before the deadline and after? Was it the vibes, people's numbers regressing to the mean? It's just wild that a team that was 8 under on August 1st is a game out last week this season.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think there was – I think we have another question, Damon, that's similar to this.
Is it next?
It could be, but I think overall, let me just I'll address it. I mean, there's a lot of things that have changed. And I gave my stupid fantasy football metaphor before, but I think the Diamondbacks have not been shy about giving someone a chance and putting them into big circumstances, regardless of how much success they've had, like we saw to Jake Woodford, having them not perform and then moving on and calling up a different arm and giving someone else a chance. They've done that so many times this season. They've set a franchise record for the number of players to get a save in a season, and I think they're closing in on a franchise record for the number of like relief pitchers that they've used in a season, which has all been recently, believe it or not. It's all been over the last few years that they've set these records. But I do think that opportunity has been a big reason why this team, has succeeded the way they have. No offense to, for instance, Gino Suarez over there at third base. I think Gino played great defense, but I think that Blaze has made a lot of plays that Gino wouldn't have made. And with the razor-thin margins the Diamondbacks have been experiencing with some of these wins, I feel like some of those athletic defensive plays that we've seen from Blaze Alexander, both at third base and in the outfield, again, another play that he made that I doubt that Lourdes Gurriel would have made, robbing that home run, the throw that he made in center field, like just some of these plays we've seen from guys. Nabil Krismat coming up and pitching the way that he has. Like, not that he pitched better than Merrill Kelly, because it's hard to replace a guy like Merrill Kelly, but he came up and gave you an equivalent chance to win that Merrill Kelly was giving you at times in games. And so, like, the opportunity that some of these guys have received has really felt like it's a big part of the turnaround. But I would be wrong if I didn't say the thing that the players have credited the most has been Mike Hazen's speech that he gave them. This dates back to, I think, right after the trade deadline, but the Diamondbacks basically came into the room, and I think this was on, I want to say, an away game, but it's back on like August 4th, and just apologized to the team and talked to the team about, like trading the guys away and everything that happened at the trade deadline, and just talking to them about performing. And it feels like Blaze, discussed that in our interview with him on Friday, and I've heard it time and time again from players about how that moment kind of motivated them and changed their point of view. And he specifically talked about the opportunity that those guys were being given, that these, don't come in next spring and be asking for opportunities or expecting opportunities. Those opportunities are being given out now. And if you don't perform, those opportunities are being given to someone else. They have been doing that. And they haven't been shy. They've been like a fantasy football owner with a crappy team that is just trying to do their best to waiver wire their way through the season and not end up at the goddamn Waffle House. And somehow this team has found a way to be even better than that. They found their way to be competitive throughout this month, and they have found their way to be one game out of the wild card race here with the final week of the season. So I really do think, though, that someone coming in and giving them the motivational speech, and again, I know there's a lot of Tory haters in this chat, so I'm sure a lot of people would say, why didn't that come from Tory? And I feel like Tory does this on a daily basis, to the point where it probably is easy to tune him out or just get used to hearing him say the same stuff. Tory, his cliches, his Toryisms, right? He's going to be talking about guys getting nicked up and flushing losses and all of that stuff. But when it comes from someone like Mike Hazen, I think it holds a different weight, and I think it holds a different gravity for these guys. So it wasn't as much of a coming in and knocking over the water cooler and telling them they all suck kind of motivational speech, as much as it was taking accountability for the direction this franchise has gone and the fact that they had no choice but to trade those players that were key to this team's success away at the deadline. Also motivating the young guys by telling them what this opportunity means, and that today is their day to go out there and shine. And it feels like a lot of guys took that really well, and it motivated them.
I think, as far as like the Tory versus Mike thing, you're right about like that's Tory's day-to-day job, but also Tory wasn't the one that traded away the whole roster.
Very
so
true.
I think Mike has to face the music a little bit and get in front of the guys and say, hey, fellas, I know I just said that our season is over, but I don't actually believe that. Sure. And here's why. You know what I mean? Because on the surface, it looks like Mike Hazen gave up on the team. Yeah. So I think he almost has to come out and explain to them why it's not like that and why they need to continue to play hard.
That's well said. I think that they had the weight of the world on their shoulders that last week before the trade deadline, because they literally felt like they were playing for their teammates to stay. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to overcome those losses and move on to the next day and have success when you're like, crap, we did it again. We can't keep doing this. Oh man, if we keep doing this, they're going to trade away Gallen, they're going to trade away Merrill, they're going to trade away all of our guys, they're going to trade away Gino. And yeah, it was obviously something that, was too much on them. And I think Mike Hazen alleviated a lot of that pressure by coming in and taking the responsibility. Did we answer all of Mike's question? I know it was.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, this is the third one here. So
let's see.
We'll just move on. Gabby Dirth says, with the improvement in the pitching lately, wonder if there have been some adjustments that Kaplan has made. He was rightfully criticized earlier in the year. Deserves some credit now. I actually was thinking about this the other day, and I actually agree.
I agree too, and I think that there is, I guess, something to be accounted for that people were literally blaming Brian Kaplan for injuries. Yeah. They were blaming the training staff for injuries. People can be unreasonable at times when things are happening and it doesn't make any sense, especially considering the mountain of injuries that the Diamondbacks experienced this year and how significant they were, right? It wasn't just injuries. It was all of our best players. And then it started to dig into our minor league system where that next line of defense, the Tommy Henrys, the Blake Walstons of the world, also started to get injured. So it just felt devastating. And it felt like it was something that was unfair. And it also felt like there were too many happening for it to just be chance, right? You bring in a new pitching coach who specifically specializes in biomechanics and player health. And this team was doing the opposite of that. They were going in the opposite direction, right? So I don't know. I do think at times Brian Kaplan was to blame for maybe things out of his control. Perhaps it's the changeover from some philosophies that were being taught and still held by guys from last year, from Brent Strom to now with Brian Kaplan. I mean, sometimes new coaching being implemented takes time for it to resonate with you. Also, maybe he adapted throughout the year. Like I said, one thing that I've truly seen with this pitching staff has been less of an emphasis on strikeouts. The swing and miss, the whiffs are still important, but just not the strikeouts. And as much as just going out there and getting outs through, fly balls and ground balls and making contact. And I feel like there is something about simplifying the game that might have helped here with the pitching staff. But I honestly am just speaking from observation, not nearly a place of knowledge like the way our guy Jack Summers and Jesse over at Snakes Territory know this stuff, right? But I do think that there are certain things that this team has been doing. I think that they have been paying attention to scouting reports and pitching against, the best pitchers in base or the best hitters in baseball. Well, I have actually been kind of shocked at the fact that they've been attacking those pitchers lately, or those hitters, which seems to be a part of their success as well, not shying away from it. Shout out to our guy, Steve Krause, who just joined our supporters club. Thank you so much, Steve.
Woo!
Appreciate it. Let's go, Steve.
Steve, let us know what type of emoji you potentially would love to see here in the PHNX Sports YouTube side of things.
We all know it's this guy, right? Is this guy in there yet? We need Jesse Jr. in there. But yeah, I think that there obviously have been things that have adapted throughout the season. It's just, I feel like the lack of strikeouts has been something consistently across the board we've seen. And I think it's just maybe a lack of focusing on that as much as just getting dudes out, right? So also aggressively attacking the strike zone seems to have picked up. I mean, I was very frustrated this season at times watching these Diamondbacks pitchers get ahead in the count, 0-2, and then just ball until, next thing you know, it's a 3-2 count and they were walking guys. It was frustrating to not see them continue to attack the zone and attack hitters. And I think that has changed a bit as we've seen the success with these pitchers. What else we got, Damon?
Our next question here, and this will round out our break here, Derek, was from Oscar. Oscar asks, what do you all think was the turning point or that click moment that has the Dbacks back in contention and pushing for a possible wild card spot?
Again, I do think it's that Mike Hazen speech. I think that really was that come together, come to Jesus moment for this team. I also think that beating certain teams started to give this team confidence. And seeing guys like Blaze Alexander come in and give them the injection of life that he did, and even Jordan Lawler, like I know Lawler struggled this year offensively, and he still has not been great, right? Like he's had some really great moments. He had the walk-off hit, but Lawler still has a lot of progression to do as a hitter at a major league level. I think, though, that this team started to root for things that weren't the same thing that they were rooting for, in the past. I feel like the mood changed. I feel like they were just really starting to get excited for each other's success and playing together as a team. And I think that's a big part of it. The fun has been there. And I know that they made it a shirt. I know they had everybody like they were at camp. Everybody wrote fun down and then they put it all on a shirt for everybody to take home. But I do feel like this team has been having a tremendous amount of fun. Also, credit where credit is due. The changeover at third base really seemed to be a big moment for this team as well. Sean Larkin has not been great over there, but Sean Larkin is still a coach that is really well liked within the system and honestly accepted the role change well. I've seen Sean Larkin out there every day working with the guys defensively. I mean, almost more so than he ever was before. He's been working with the guys in a very Tony Perez-Chica way, and it's been great to see. And that's allowed Bogar to focus. He also comes in and coaches as well. So, I mean, the Diamondbacks just have a bevy of knowledge and experience now helping them, get ready before games, get locked in, take those grounders. And just overall, I think the defense has improved. The base running has improved. And a lot of that is because of the change over there at Sean Larkin, just being, the infield coach and Bogart taking over at third base. Also, Candace says the celebration vest came back too. Here's the thing about the celebration vest. It's never gone away. It's always been in the clubhouse, sitting on the back of a chair in almost the same spot all the time. But I just have this sneaking suspicion that they have still used it for their own internal celebrations this entire time. They just don't bring it out on the field and want to brag and show up other teams. And that seems like a very Torey Lovullo thing. Torey Lovullo doesn't even like to talk bad about the opposing team's defense after they win because he doesn't want to show up his opposing manager or the team, sitting in that clubhouse across the hall. So I do think that the idea of not wanting to be, braggadocious out there, the reason why they abandoned this beautiful snake as their home run celebration, and the reason why they tucked the vest away only to be seen privately when they're spraying each other down with, shaving cream and whatever else they can find is probably that desire to not be that, right? To not be that team that shows up their opposition, keep those celebrations private and enjoy them for sure. But I agree. I'm glad it's back. I think that there is some level of swag that every baseball team needs. I don't necessarily agree with the not celebrating, especially when like the home run celebration thing has become such a big thing in baseball. Look at what the Mariners are doing. They can't be beat. And they have a golden trident that they bring out.
Basically do like a Savannah Bananas style celebration.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And I love it. And I'm here for it. It makes baseball better. And I think all teams should have something like that. So I think they should all jump in like a giant, like the celebratory dragon costumes they have in Japan. Like I would love to see them jump in one of those and just scurry their way across the dugout really quickly. All right, what else? Is that all we got for now, Damon? We got one more, or is that it for now?
That's it for right now.
Well, I got to tell people about Big Brothers Big Sisters, and I'm knocking all this stuff over here. But
get out of here, little Lourdes.
Get out of here, Corbin. I got to talk LG3. Big Brothers Big Sisters, of course, is a wonderful organization. We are very proud to be working together with them and supporting this great cause. You can help young kids in the Valley and throughout the state get mentorship they need simply by hitting that donate button right there you see on your screen. We always appreciate your super chats. For this month of September, we ask for you to help us by donating to Big Brothers Big Sisters. Anything helps as we push for our All-City goal of $50,000 this month. Again, help to support the great work at Big Brothers Big Sisters by hitting that donate button. They do some great work in our community. You can also find out how to be a big over there at bbbs.org. Basically, check that out as well. Candace says, poor LG3. Yeah, no, I feel bad. I feel terrible. He's already gone through a lot this year, and I can't knock him down. But Damon, I know we have some more Mailbag Monday questions, so let's get to those. What do we got in the mailbag?
Our next question comes from Grant Demand 11. Grant Demand asks, if they make an offer to Zach Gallen, does that also mean they make an offer to Sexy Arms Jimmy McCann? And then says the veteran catcher seems critical to the current team of rookies in turning Zach's season around.
I absolutely would. I mean,
Derek will be doing protests down at Chase Field if James McCann doesn't get re-signed to this team.
You have no idea how upset I will be. I will definitely be upset. Honestly, it's funny because to hear Torey Lovullo credit Corbin Burns for the reason why this team picked up James McCann is kind of crazy, right? Like it goes to show that how hard it is to be a general manager with his performance and the way he's contributed. I'm sure there's a lot of people that were confused why this guy was even available, right? And that can happen across baseball quite a bit. Sometimes a change of scenery or perhaps what you offer to a team is more valuable than it was to your previous team or maybe to another team. But Corbin Burns' endorsement of James McCann is a big reason why this team brought him on. Also, again, that fantasy football waiver wire mentality of being like, well, we got to find somebody, so we'll pick this guy up. And if he puts up points for us, then he just earned himself a roster spot. Well, James McCann did more than put up points for this team, which he absolutely did, but they call them runs in baseball. I'm not sure if you knew that. What he did was enhance this pitching staff, and he did that starting with Zach Gallen and just going all the way up and down the roster. It feels like a lot of guys have talked about McCann's impact, and I feel like Torey Lovullo has credited McCann to be a big, just presence in the dugout. He's talked about him just being very vocal and what, some of the baseball conversations are like in the dugout, and that they are better than they've been all year long. Plus, like I said, at the same time as him being credited with being this veteran that's causing these amazing conversations to take place in the dugout, he's also throwing sunflower seeds at Blaze Alexander and putting them in his hair when he's not looking. And that all is what baseball is all about. Like, I love everything about Jimmy, Sexy Man Jimmy McCann. What am I doing here? I love everything about his vibe. And again, he has been a godsend, as Scott Mack says. Some of these guys have absolutely been that. And I think that is the reason why, once again, if you want to ask for another turning point, it was just some of the players they added working out and being far better than we could have ever expected them to be. What else we got? Damon.
Next question here is from Fleaball, and Fleaball asks, are Dbacks overthinking and over-obsessed with lefty-righty matchups, pitching and batting? It feels like pinch hitting never works for us. I'd take someone that's been playing all day versus one that's been on the bench, even if it's not the lefty-righty ideal matchup.
I hate this sometimes in baseball because as much as I completely agree with the thought process of righty lefty, like what it means, basically, how that ball, the breaking stuff specifically, tails away from you versus towards you, and how important that actually is, how much harder that makes it to hit a baseball. It doesn't mean every pitcher does that, nor does it mean that is every batter's weakness. I think that there is something to be said about a guy being hot and being in a game and being ready to deliver in a big moment, especially someone with the experience like McCann has in one of those instances where they pinch hit for him, than bringing in a guy cold off the bench. I think some of the reasons why the Diamondbacks have that lack of success from pinch hitters is it's very hard to pinch hit. It's especially hard to pinch hit when you haven't been, going to the back and hitting off of a machine, which is, what I believe Pavin Smith credited when he was DHing for being how he was able to stay warm without going out on the field, is he would just go kind of take batting practice back in the cages instead of just sitting on the bench waiting for his turn to hit. So I don't know, maybe there is a philosophy change there, but what I do know is that we are going to send it into overtime right now. So if you are watching over on your favorite app, on Roku, wherever you're watching, on any television app that you're watching us on, come on over to gophnx.com. We're going to keep the conversation going with our best questions. And they call it overtime. I call it extra innings. Whatever. We'll never see eye to eye on that. But what we do see eye to eye on is Mailbag Monday, and the best questions being at the end, of course, at least the most significant questions. And Damon, I think we're ready to dig into those. What do we got?
Yeah, our next question here comes from Gabriel Bold as Bronze, who asks, I'm halfway through my Gilmore Girls rewatch. What hour-long shows should I watch in case of no playoffs? I don't like this question.
You don't like this question?
I just,
don't. Yeah.
it's
Gabriel is very negative. I've noticed that. I want to apologize to everybody on Gabriel's behalf. And I do want to say that I understand the feeling on this. I don't like this question either. I don't want to think about it. But since he asked, I do have to give some really good shows that you could watch right now. I don't know what you have and haven't been watching, so forgive me for this, but I feel like looking at some things. Now, forgive me, I'm not endorsed by HBO, although at one time on Twitter they did follow me. They don't do that any longer. But I do enjoy
still
HBO.
followed by Netflix.
I am still followed by Netflix, and also the Last Week Tonight. Great show. Make sure to check that out. That's a show you can watch if you haven't seen that. Also, right now I'm in love with Peacemaker. Peacemaker is great. John Cena does an excellent job. James Gunn, who's also a huge Big Brother fan, is doing some amazing work with the DC universe. I also really enjoyed Severance. I can't endorse that show enough. It was weird. It was kooky, and I loved it. I think you will too. Stranger Things, that's wrapping up here soon. So if you've never seen Stranger Things, The Boys, and any Star Wars show except The Acolyte, Mandalorian, Andor might be the most important show
Ever
in
the history of shows, for sure.
It might be the most important show anybody watches right now in this particular climate. That's all I will say. Also, What We Do in the Shadows and Only Murders over there on Hulu. Great shows. I love both of them. Righteous Gemstones, that was also great. If you want to dig into the vault, once again, go to the old HBO shows from like 15 years ago. There are 86 episodes of The Sopranos. That will tide you over at least until the winter meetings. 6 Feet Under, underrated show. Love that show. It also will bring you great perspective in your own life that not only can, something happen to us at any point, but how people will reflect upon you. Also, Carnival, Oz. Carnival, that's a short show. Love that one. Oz, The Wire, all that stuff. Just go look through old HBO shows. If you see something that just intrigued you, chances are it'll be good. Eastbound and Down and Flight of the Conchords, also very good shows. Those are very funny shows, and I love the boys over at Flight of the Conchords, by the way. Anything that was funny on HBO was probably pretty good. Let's see. Candace says, I've never seen Stranger Things. That's crazy. But sometimes that's fun, especially a show that now has as many seasons put together as Stranger Things does, and how long it took to get to this point. You can wait until it wraps up here this fall and then watch all of it. I love Broad City, by the way. Broad City was a great show. So, but yeah, as far as hour-long shows go, there's plenty of stuff out there. Here's the show I'm going to tell you never to watch. Lost. Never watch Lost. I want to speak to ABC's manager and have my time back for the amount of time I put into watching that show for it to end the way it did. So let me just tell you, never watch Lost. If you ever consider it, just remember what I said. Maybe watch seasons 1 and 2 and then just leave it at that and never watch another season ever again. All right, let's wrap this up, Damon. What else we got?
Our last question, of course, we all know who it comes from, Zabe, who asks, if you could channel your inner Tyra Banks on America's Next Top Models, what would you do to Brandon Marsh's and Matt Strom's hair?
I can't believe both of these disgusting individuals play for the same team.
I can.
First of all. Yeah, I
they
guess
fit so well into their team's culture. They really do.
Yeah. Also, I hate everything I've learned about Brandon Marsh's beard. Brandon Marsh's beard might be the most disgusting thing to ever exist in humanity.
I hate everything I've ever learned about Brandon Marsh, Derek. I'll take it a step further.
That's fine. I know too much about Brandon Marsh's personal life, that's for sure. But I also know that his beard is disgusting, and that from what I've been told, he only washes it once per month. So, what I imagine is that first we're going to need to get in there with some sort of circular saw to get it cut off of his face, right? And I have a feeling like he's not going to be a good-looking man potentially under there without the beard. He's going to be one of those needs a beard kind of guys. So we can't get rid of the beard altogether. But
for sure,
like an intervention needs to happen here. He needs to be told about the beard and about the wet hair. And like, I can only imagine what kind of mold and mildew there could be possibly involved in this entire situation. Like, it might be toxic. There might be, his beard might be the reason for the pandemic. That's all I'm saying. But
not to be like dramatic or anything.
not to be dramatic, not to make broad accusations based on nothing.
We wouldn't do that on this show, would we?
But I will say
would
that,
we?
No. What, us?
Oh, my finger
Us?
must have slipped there.
Damon? Anyway, no, but I will say, like, again, it would be great to see them get normal, like, adult facial hair and haircuts and see what they look like. Like, that to me is a very satisfying genre of video online. And I put it right next to like pill pop or pimple popping, you know, like it's that level of like, ew, it's so gross. Quick, do something about it to fix it. And then and then the person comes out with a good haircut and normal looking adult beard. And you're like, hey, you're not a mountain man anymore. And your beard is no longer causing, radiation to come off of it. Anyway, this is a great time to trash Brandon Marsh, at least after this series. I hope not to see Brandon Marsh or his wet hair any longer here for the rest of not only this season, but the postseason, quite frankly. So, Candace says he's definitely not good looking with it. I don't know how men get trapped in that whole, I have a big beard and this is my personality thing. Don't get me wrong. I do not grow a great beard. I grow a fine short beard. If I try to let this thing grow out of control, I look like Will Forte in The Last Man on Earth, which is basically like very similar to a person that does not have a home. And I can't grow a big beard. I respect people that can. I respect guys like Archie Bradley and such. I don't really think that you need to grow your beard to a point where it becomes like an illogical problem for you, nor do I think that anybody thinks you look good with it when it's that beard big. So that's it. But let's see. Chris asked Derek, have you ever watched the figurine makeover videos? Addictive. No, but I don't need any more addictive internet videos to watch. I have plenty of cat videos to watch and plenty of French bulldog videos to watch. So thank you very much. I appreciate the recommendation. I also appreciate you guys being here. We thank you guys so much for your time. We have another post-game show to do tomorrow and an entire week of post-game shows. And I'll even take you one step further. Should the Arizona Diamondbacks make it into the postseason, we will, or not in the postseason, but should those games matter this weekend is what I should be saying. We will be bringing you post-game shows as often as we absolutely need to, including perhaps next Friday or next Saturday and Sunday, depending on the weight of those games. So we've got a lot of post-game shows to do. Cannot wait to watch this team play out these last 6 games and possibly win their way into the postseason. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Hope you guys are here with us. Until then, you can follow us on Twitter. I'm at Cap_Caveman with a K. Damon is at Damon Dog with a DAWG at the end. And of course, we are all Damon's dogs. Our show is at PHNX_Dbacks, but as always, all roads lead to at PHNX_sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Damon, if I'm not mistaken, I think we got another new member, our guy Short Bus.
Yeah, he's an ASU guy, so I don't think he's in here, but still shout out Short Bus. We're gonna count it as one of our Dbacks members.
Yeah, we if it happens during our hour, we take it.
Correct.
And again, that's just one step closer to Jesse Jr. being a little emoji there. So again, love you guys. Thank you so much for your time. We will see you tomorrow. Until then, have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the day off. Get yourselves rested up to cheer hard for this team for the next 6 days, because that's what it's going to take to get into the playoffs. Until then, behave yourselves, and remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it is so much more fun when you are playing meaningful games the final week of the season.
We all silly like the mayor.